Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a good hot minute that I was gone once again. One thing I need to realize about me, okay, before I begin, is that I take consecutive months off of social media and just all of these platforms where I have to kind of involve myself in order to be in the know, because that's just how I find a balance in my life for my lifestyle. Some people could do it where they on social media every single day and they still able to, replenish themselves and cater to themselves and take care of themselves. Self-care is important to me, okay? Holistically, the mental, the emotional, all of that. And I can't just be on social media as an empath, because I am an empath. I feel like I take on people's problems. I can't be on social media consuming all of y'all's ish, okay? So I have to take a little hiatus. Okay, the girl has some work to do also. So that's another thing. Anywho, thank you for tuning in. Those of you who are new, my name is Tiara. I have a few other intro videos, sort of kinda, about what I do. This page is solely about just being a woman, being a doula, my lifestyle, and just doing the work, just all of the different layers of who we are that has developed throughout time based off of other people's realities of who we should be, speaking of just like conditioning in the system and things like that. And yeah, peeling those layers back to find ourselves in our inner voices again and being able to fully become our divine best selves. So that's what this is about. And for me, the way that I'm exploring that and the way that I'm able to really become of the woman I am as I am becoming, I gravitate more to sisterhood. That's healing to me. That's my healing community. So that being said, story time. Okay, now, while I've been away from social media, let's just begin there. I had already committed prior to this pandemic, right? I've already committed to my clients as a doula, which both were due April and May, right behind each other, okay? So I had to, as it is my duty, and I say it is my duty because I take pride in the work that I do, again, and using my gifts to be able to assist my community in whatever way that I can. So I made it my duty, even though this pandemic situation happened, I still took, the time, the energy, and the commitment, as serious as it was to me, for what it was, like, regardless of the circumstance. I'm here, and so pretty much they took away the rights of a support system in the hospital, right, for a birthing woman. They only required was just for the father to be present, which took away the doula, which took away whoever else, whether your mom or dad, whoever else you may have considered as your support, to come in and be there during the labor and the birth. In the case of my two clients, one gave birth at a birthing center, one gave birth at a hospital. However, the hospital client, she originally planned to actually deliver at a hospital, but then she considered alternatives due to what took place with the pandemic, and so she was accepted into a birthing center. But things didn't go as planned, as most births don't. And the reality is about childbirth is, although you may have your preferences, and I like to say preferences now, before it was this thing of like your birthing plan. A plan to me is very like set in stone. That is not realistic. What's realistic is a preference, what you prefer to happen, how you prefer your birthing and labor experience to look. The comfortability of having all the things around you that puts you at ease mentally, physically, emotionally, the people that you want around you. So all these things are just preferences. And so the baby, however, will have his or her own preference, okay? And when things like that go down, it's out of our control at that point. So you got to prepare yourself for anything. And that was one of the things that took place with my last client. And, that experience taught me so much. It taught me so much, and it gave me so much more gratitude for this work, to the point that I'm considering being a midwife. Ultimately, the experience that took place during both of my clients' labor and delivery in the midst of a pandemic was still very beautiful. They both were very strong. They were very, very positive, and they were empowering, like empowered me, empowered the people around them and themselves, you know. And it's been so beautiful these past 2 months for me. I really took the time out to dedicate myself and my energy to these women, and also finding the balance within myself, and knowing that it's important that if I'm going to go through this during this time, you know, I have to make sure that I'm still taking care of me, because I have a tendency sometimes to put all my energy in everybody else, and then, you know, I burn out, and it's like, oh damn, you know, now I gotta get up and start all over, dust myself off, start clean and fresh, and do it all over again. And that's what the journey is all about, of just building up yourself and listening to your inner voice and trusting your instincts and trusting your intuition. Like, all of that is a consistent process. And so, you know, there's gonna be moments where you falter, and it's okay, you know. And I've learned that, and I've also learned that throughout this whole experience so far. I don't want to get too much into details. What I could say is that both births were very different. The first one, I think she was in labor for about 9 hours. The baby came very fast, and she did 100% natural birth in the water. And my second client had 44 hours of labor, natural vaginal birth. She did have some, she did have epidural, but she still pushed the baby out by herself. She dilated all the way to 10 centimeters by herself. No, you know, medical interventions for that. And with 44 hours of labor and still being able to push out the baby naturally, like, and ripen it naturally, like, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of the baby. Her son was so strong, you know. And my first client had a girl, she had a boy. So it was just a great experience overall, and I'm just so happy for both of them, and I'm grateful that they allowed me to be a part of their birthing experience. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, it just makes me feel so warm inside. By the way, I was able to, just side note, I was actually able to come up and stay with her and be with her at the hospital, because they changed the policies. First it was just the father, but then a couple weeks before we got there, before her birth, they allowed for the doula to also be there. But that wasn't something broadcast for everybody to be aware of. So I'm so glad she even the nurse actually suggested it, like, hey, do you have a doula? Like, you should let her come up. And she was like, yeah, but I thought she couldn't stay. So she called me. It was like 11 o'clock at night. She called me, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely there, honey, because I needed to be there. And I felt in my heart, and I prayed so hard. I was like, God, just look after her, you know. And I felt like I failed her a little, and it broke me to pieces, but I still had trust and faith. And right before I was about to close my eyes to rest, she called me and was like, you can come up, please come if you can make it. And I was like, girl, I'm on my way. So that was just a blessing in itself. So the whole experience was great. Moving forward, you know, I still have more work to do. The work that I've done here in New York has been such a success, and it has taught me so much, and I'm so grateful again. I'm always grateful, always grateful, always grateful. But now I have more work to do in other places in the world. Also, when it comes to my creative works, you guys, I know a lot of you are following me from my Tiara Crochets page. I do other things other than crocheting, obviously. You all know that. But there's a few other things that I do just for fun around the house, like constructing things also. I've discovered that I love working with my hands. If you haven't seen my last video or the one prior, DIY yoni steam and seat, please go check that out. And I also constructed a floating shelf for my herbs. I made a crochet, I'll show you guys. So this is pretty much a holder for my water bottle. Okay, I've crocheted this as well. This is so beautiful. I love it so much. The water bottle that I had, it had a square bottom, right? So which can be obviously customized to whatever water bottle you have. So this is another thing that I worked on, which I love so much. I'll have to show you guys how it looks. You can't really see, but yeah, it just goes in here. I will get another water bottle and show you guys. I'll take pictures and everything. So that's the only few projects I've been working on so far. I did do some bathing suits, like, what was it, in April? February. Made some bathing suits in February. And I'll be working on some things definitely once I, work on my next project outside of New York. So yes, stay tuned, guys. I know that, I've been MIA, but I love you guys for still staying in touch and looking out, for my videos. And sorry, it's dust. And also just like, being a part of what I'm a part of, I love my community and I try my best to serve everyone, as balanced as I can, in a balanced manner as I can. Oh, another thing too, my plants, you guys. My plants have been growing beautifully. I also decided to grow some watermelon seeds, which is going to grow an entire vine. And yeah, once that vine grows, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'll let it just grow out the pot and then replant it once it gets, too much for the little pot. I'll replant it in the backyard garden if my landlord is okay with it. But, just experimenting and seeing what can be done in the house. But so far, my plants have been flourishing. One of them, which is my Duncan, let me just bring her. I know I probably just branched off to something totally different, but I feel like chatting, y'all. And it's been a minute anyway, so y'all can either stay with me and chat or whatever. Anyways, so this is just a picture of me and my mom. It's just like stuck here when I was a baby. Can you see that? I don't know if you guys can see me and my mama. So she has gone through so much. When I first purchased her, she was much larger, right? And then I replanted her, and I think because I replanted her, she was a little traumatized, and so a lot of her little baby started to fall off. And, she wasn't taken to the water easily. Like, it took some time for her to, like, just adjust to the environment stuff and whatever. And now, and honestly, I think because it was cold also. Like, people say these plants are great in home plants and don't need, like, water every day and stuff and sunlight, but I don't believe that. I honestly don't believe that. Like, these plants have flourished and continue to flourish every single day ever since we started getting some sun out here. So currently, this is a new baby here. We have another new baby here coming up. You see? A little stem. And in the back here, you see there's another baby here. And so and this is also like a little baby that just sprouted like not too long ago, maybe a few days ago. And there's so many other ones, like little buds like at the bottom. And I'm just excited to see how much she grows. And I've just been taking so much good care of her, showing her so much love and energy and like light, and just making sure every day I water her and, give them some attention. So yes, this is my Duncan. She's doing really well. And then I have a snake plant. Snake plants are very strong. Like, they can pretty much thrive in any environment, to be honest. But I do see that, she's taken to the sun very well. And these little ones here were small for months. Like, they just started like really growing, and I think that's because, again, of the sun. So I keep watering and giving them sunlight and taking care of them, and yeah, they do anything. This is my watermelon vine. Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
You know when you drink tea and it's like so perfectly warm? You start going down. Okay.
So this is my watermelon vine, guys. You see how happy I am? Okay, so I literally just bought a watermelon, and it had seeds in it, of course, and it was like, I believe, organic or whatever. So I took the seeds and said, let me just plant them and see what happens. When I tell y'all, literally, it took 2 weeks for it to sprout. I almost gave up hope. I was like, I'm gonna just be consistent and keep watering it every day. But for some reason, I thought it would be a lot quicker for it to sprout. But it took 2 weeks for one little sprout to come up, and I was so happy. And then next thing you know, I didn't even see the other 2 sprouts come up. Next thing you know, it's just 3 long stems, and I'm like, okay. Every day it's been growing like wildfire. So I definitely want to get more plants soon, but then it's just kind of like I won't be here, so I don't know if it makes sense. But I've been enjoying my plants growth journey as well. Just the little things, you know, it's the little things for me. I'm just like, I'm so simple. I'm gonna wrap up now, guys. I'm talking way too much. I love you all, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next video. Peace and light.